I'll fucking beat the shit out of you again.
Oh, I want to see that. I want to see that.
We'll do it.
Yeah. Hopefully no one catches on camera.
How long has it been since the last time?
Like a year or two?
No, dude, right,
No, it's
like
been way
3
more.
years, at least like 3 years. I want
Are you
to say.
serious?
I was
Yeah.
playing Imperial
Dude,
Recruiter and Painter at that point.
I mean, it felt like yesterday to me. So
I still
still
remember there was like this Korean high roller, right, who organized all these like grudge matches and Legacy.
oh yeah, Spunky, yeah, definitely.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah. I mean, like I haven't met him personally, but
Everyone knows
Yeah, he
Spunky.
lives like in the underground, right? Nobody's ever seen his face.
I think like most wealthy people live in underground.
Yeah,
So-
except for a couple of not so underground people on Twitter and everywhere. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, there was a best of 5, and there was Painter and Doomsday, and oh my goodness, dude, that was a time when I believed that Doomsday had such a good Painter matchup. Like, I was like bragging about it, right? And then
I know.
and then some error happened, and I got really unlucky in those 5 games against
error
Callum,
happened.
and like,
I remember watching it back and you're like, why does Callum always have the mana to pay for days? What a motherfucker.
yeah, that was really strange. Yeah,
So for those wondering, that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and there was actually somebody going around incentivizing these scratch matches. And yeah, Callum played against Kai, and I think it should actually be on my YouTube, available somewhere. I think I might have done some commentary on it. I'm not sure, but the video is definitely going to be available. So if you want to check that out, we might actually link it in the show notes. We will see. But dude, if you guys want to go for round 2, I'm down to stream and commentate again.
Let's do round 2. Because it's weird because back then, Painter was absolutely like tier 2 at best, and Doomsday was really good. And I thought I was going to get crushed, but I was like, I'm in a win-win situation. Like, you know, if I lose, it's expected. If I beat you, it's great. And then you got destroyed.
So I love that.
We'll do it again. I think Painter and Doomsday is pretty even these days.
Am I allowed to switch decks, or do I have to stay on?
No,
Doomsday?
dude, as somebody
All
who
right,
had been like
okay.
locked by the community into a single deck, and even 5 years after he played his last match with it, they are still like,
Yeah.
you're the guy for the deck, like, I guess.
I mean, no, yeah. Don't be surprised if there are like 6 hydroblasts in my sideboard, but yeah, other than
man.
that, we can.
That's
we can
fine. Bring it
rumble.
on.
Rumble.
That's what you do, right? With that, hello and welcome to Everyday Eternal number 175, your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly legacy podcast. Today's show is brought to you by our brand new Patreon. Oh, I just got it. Okay. Jim Monolith.
Hey, Jim, what's up?
Dude, I thought
That's
it was
great.
like just like a normal name, like Jim Monolith. It's just, okay, dude, that's actually pretty creative.
Oh, dude, Jim is insane.
That's a great name.
I met Jim at the BCDL, aka Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy. He came all the way from Toronto, Canada, with his gang.
Shout outs,
Sick.
shout outs.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude. Like, and like he takes Monolith very seriously. So he told me he only plays decks in Legacy that play Grim Monolith. And he has like Grim Monoliths like printed on everything, like on his t-shirt, on his hoodie. Even their car was insane. So
In
like
the car was a Grim
Dude.
Monolith.
he also has he has a guitar, like an electric guitar, which has the same shape as Grim Monolith. And
That's
like
crazy.
it is insane. Like he takes it so seriously, right? And like the car was like all black and had like those like crazy ass like flags, and it was like the most badass car out there. It was called like the Legacy of the North.
I was going to say this is so American, but it's Canadian.
Yeah. Dude, they drove
fucking
like
cool.
9 hours to Columbus to play Legacy. How insane is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Canadians are insane. Like, I remember when James Hsu and Matt Pavlik, they like drove. I think they took a flight from Vancouver to somewhere in East Canada, and then they drove down and almost killed themselves because they were like so like exhausted for GP Columbus 2008 or something. Like totally crazy. Like really messed up stuff. But I mean, yeah, the things you do for Legacy, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, we probably. I can only speak for myself, but I slept on my fair share of like literally just like floors, which is horrible. It's not nearly as cool as it actually sounds. I don't know if it sounds cool, but it sounds like dedication, but it actually really only sounds like back pain.
I mean, that's something you can only do in your 20s, maybe, or 10s and 20s.
After touring America and having to sleep on multiple floors, I'm too old for that shit.
Kai, don't people actually sleep on the floor in Japan?
They do, yeah. But there's like this like tiny little mattress which is close to nothing. It's like maybe like an inch, maybe.
It's like a towel.
Yeah, like a towel. Yeah.
If you're used to it, it's fine.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah.
So if you want to support the running of the show directly and make us not sleep on floors anymore, you can support us on patreon.com/everydayjournal. And guys, before we get into anything, we have a kind of exclusive drop or like, I don't know. I was contacted earlier this week about some scoop, I guess. Is it a scoop if we were actually like contacted to like...
Is it an Italian scoop? Like a gelato scoop?
Ooh,
It's also getting announced at the same time. Not exactly while we are recording, because as we are recording, it's still a secret. So it's actually a lot less exciting to you guys now because it's already dropped on Twitter. But I mean, not everybody has seen it yet. Because,
Julian, you're really selling this here.
Dude, I'm a born marketer, right? you sure you want to go on that safari? Dude, lots of dead animals. I don't know.
It was really good 2 days ago.
Dude, that's literally what I said on my last familiarization trip when I took a couple of people there to sell it. So I taught them how to sell it.
There was totally tigers there 2 days ago.
It was honestly pretty shitty. It was just because there had been a huge drought in Kenya, and as we started out for the safari, like you could literally smell the dead animals, and like the first couple of animals we saw were literally dead animals on the side of the road, and it's just like, dude, guys, seriously, like the last time I was here, this is amazing, right? You have to imagine, right? This animal running around instead of not running around. And anyway, 4 seasons, guys, but you've heard about the changes that were made to Eternal Weekend, right? What do we not get for Eternal Weekend anymore?
You don't get a painting.
Yeah, you win the entire thing. I mean, you get a lot of money, you get these special cards, and that's cool, and especially cool that Wizards continues doing that. But the big thing that for 10, 15 years has been a thing for Eternal Weekend is the winners of Legacy and Vintage get giant paintings, reimagined cards of Magic the Gathering. And that's just so
cool. Sick. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. So... people at Four Seasons, they were like, come on, this is such a big tradition, and Four Seasons is basically like the second biggest Legacy event in the world, I want to say, after Eternal Weekend. Is that true? Kinda, right?
Could well be.
I might have totally forgotten about some, I don't know.
There's God of Legacy, right? It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's say...
it's very big.
It's huge.
Top lots.
Big is big.
It's American big.
You know what you're going to do? We're going to commission a painting, and the winner of Four Seasons is going to get an insane painting.
Awesome.
I have it on my screen right now. I purposefully didn't post it yet.
Oh, what the fuck? I've not seen it.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you because I want to see your natural reaction.
Is it a basic planes?
The painting is straight up like basic. Honestly, they could also there's some really fire basic planes, but it's not. It's actually not a magic card. It's in the style of a magic card, right? Wizards can't, Four Seasons can't rip off a real magic card, but this is a painting done by Florinda Zanetti. And if you play Four Seasons next week, 6th to 8th of September, and you get first, you get this. Guys, I'm going to post it in our show notes right now.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can you see it?
Nope.
Not yet, but drum roll is rolling.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is amazing. Wow.
That's insane, right?
So, Julian, describe it. I guess someone's if they're listening to this, it's going to be in the show notes as well.
We're so going to link it. We're so going to drop it on Twitter. We're so going to drop it in our Discord channel.
That is sick.
This is really cool. It's like a dragon, but it kind of looks like Ursa Saga style.
Yeah.
Like it has a lot of this little
it's
notes and things and arrows and
you know the Brothers War masterpieces things. I'm not sure the exact name, like retro artifacts, which with the sketches.
Oh yeah.
It's like a dragon, but with that sketchiness. Wow, this is sick. This is so cool.
The tiny little details right in the background and everything. This is insane. Also, how they made the paper look a bit burned on the outside and everything. This looks so really some kind of you ripped it out of a book of legends of dragons that used to inhabit the earth or something, and just whoa, guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So that's not only that, by the way. So if you win the entire thing, you get this giant painting.
Wait, so this is for the Legacy main event or for...
This is for the Legacy main event, yes.
Heck yeah.
And I was also told there's going to be medals. I assume for top 3, as you usually do, but I actually can't confirm that. And those medals are going to be based on that dragon. So I assume that dragon is going to be, I don't know, imposed on I'm pretty sure it's not going to be real gold, but you're going to get some kind of medal, right? Some kind of thing to show off.
So there's no prize money, but a gold dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be some sort of plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
This is so sick, though. I'm just staring at it it's such cool artwork.
Yeah, it's really fantasy-ish. Really cool.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Also, did you guys know that for the original paintings of Magic, the most expensive ones are always dragons and angels? I was just told, like, because I didn't know much about like the prices of original paintings, and apparently people love dragons and angels.
Holy shit! By the way, I'm so horrible. I'm so. Oh god, I'm so bad. Okay, this painting is gonna be given out, but even better, it's gonna be even more exclusive. It's gonna be for the winner of the ELM, of the European Legacy Masters. Dude, I'm so terrible. I messed it up. Like it's yeah.
That's even better because I was thinking like. Yeah, that's even better because the top 8 will play and everything.
Yeah, because now finally people have a reason to qualify. That's cool.
Now they have a reason to qualify. Dude, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so ELM is going to be held at 4 Seasons, and 4 Seasons are rewarding medals to all the top 8. I should have actually reread this before we went live again.
Nice.
We are professionals very much. Thank you so much. But yeah, so the winner of the European Legacy Masters, which is a separate tournament held at 4 Seasons, is going to get this painting. And the top 8 of 4 Seasons, which is the huge main event, usually like 400 people, they get medals based on the artwork of that dragon. So now we got it down. Oh god, dude, the person who told me this, they must have been like tearing their hair out during the last 5 minutes as I got it completely wrong. Like, no, Julian, no, please. But now we got it, dude. This is amazing, dude. I actually want this to be a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
There should be like a Shivan Dragon, like
dude.
etch art thing.
Like Steel Hellkite, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually not
cool.
a person to put like, I don't know, fantasy paintings in my room, but I could definitely see this going up somewhere.
I'm exactly the same. I'm like, if it's like art from something I know, like a Magic card, for example, obviously, I would. But like this, I feel exactly the same. I would totally have this like full-on right display in the middle of my room somewhere.
This is so badass.
Cool. Yeah. I want it.
I'm gonna be really excited to see, especially for ELM, because the thing about ELM is I looked it up, and I think Germany this year had like 7 or 8 people qualifying, so we have a real shot at taking it down. But I mean, what I love about that as well is that there's some slot stealing going on, right? Some people travel to other countries, they steal like I think Johannes Gutbrot stole the Austrian slot. Hey, yeah. Good job.
Well, the best one is Matt Brown stole the main Italian one. He won the Legacy last year.
What a champ!
Yeah. Francis stole a Welsh one.
Isn't he kind of Welsh?
He is Welsh, but he lives in London.
Okay, nice.
So it wears off. Like at some point you're not Welsh anymore.
We'll see what he would say. But yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
That one's more tongue in cheek.
Yeah. So, after we've nerded out about the amazing dragon and the medal's going to be given out next week, Kai, you are still on your tour, right? What's it called? Like the Kai Savatari World Domination Tour or something?
It's the Savatarix World Domination Tour.
So how much dominating have you been doing?
Like the domination kind of depends on my final record on the direct challenges.
Are you keeping track of all the different events that you attend?
Most of them, yeah. Like I started really bad at the Buffalo Chicken Dip, but I kind of, got enough wins at the NRG events to kind of balance it out. But so overall, it was like a mini domination, yeah. Because my final record was like 23-17, which is not really.
It's not what I'd really call a domination. But.
No, it's not. Like how like in English, how do you call like a very small, tiny domination?
There's probably like too many bad jokes about football teams in there.
Okay, let's just call it even. Okay, so it's the Savatarix Even World Tour.
Decent tour, decency tour or something.
Mediocre tour.
They'll call it the Savatarix 3-2 tour.
Thank you. Dude, I'm down. Okay, this is it. You gotta rename the entire thing the 3-tour tour.
Oh no.
Oh, guys. But I want to hear a lot of things about your World Domination Tour, but very quickly I want to get into a stupid game that we just invented on the Discord because I don't remember who it was. I could look it up right now. I always want to give people credit when they have like awesome ideas, but then it takes too long. Anyway, so we talked about like really weird dishes that exist in the US, and I couldn't actually believe that some of these things really exist. Oh, good. Yeah, Kai, you posted some pictures. And I was like, there's absolutely no way that some of these things are real. And I think that one of them was the chicken waffle.
Oh yeah, man, chicken waffles. I had them for the very first time.
How are those real?
Yeah, dude. So for everyone who doesn't know, this is like America only. But basically, you have a fried chicken, and then you can also like add some bacon if you really want to. And then on the outside, it's except instead of buns, you have like sweet waffles. And, like, this thing has like approximately 1 billion calories, and you're gonna feel really shit after this, but it feels very nice when you eat it because there's like one thing Americans do very well is combine sweet and salty flavors.
I actually looked this up because I couldn't believe this is real, and it makes at least a tiny bit more sense to me because it originated from New York jazz clubs. And here's the thing, so jazz goes very late into the night, sometimes into the morning. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to have something you can eat for dinner, but also for breakfast.
Oh, wow, that's so smart.
So you can eat chicken for dinner, and you can eat waffles for breakfast. And sometimes if you're like caught in between in the twilight zone, you're like, oh, chicken waffles.
Oh my God, I'm just Googling it. Dude, it's just chicken and waffles. Like.
I think I'm like tonight I'm going to do like steak cereals or something, you know.
Anyway, so I was so fascinated by this that I went out there today and I picked up really weird American dishes that actually exist. And then I went to ChatGPT and asked it to generate random dishes that don't exist. And I want you guys to guess which one of the following 6 are real and which one are fake.
Okay, I'm going to be especially bad at this because like I've basically eaten very little meat in my life. So it's anything to do with that, I'll have no idea.
Okay, so I'm going to read these out one by one. So the first one is Sauerkraut Pancakes.
No way.
Dude, this is going to be a fake.
No way.
I'm going to go through the rest of them.
All right. Okay, fine.
Deep fried rattlesnake. Popcorn and sardine milkshake. Banana and mayonnaise sandwich. Roadkill casserole. Marinated brain sandwich. And I'm going to tell you, 4 of these are real and 2 are fake.
No way. 4 are real?
Yeah. I was like 4 are fake for sure.
No, I thought, like 6 are fake, I thought.
So you got to pick the 2 fake ones.
Can you go through them again?
Okay, sauerkraut pancakes. Deep fried rattlesnake. Popcorn and sardine milkshake. Banana and mayonnaise sandwich. Roadkill casserole. Marinated brain sandwich.
All right, I'm going for the brain and the milkshake.
Oh, you think those are fake?
Yeah.
Oh, like, dude, you can marinate anything. Like, even brains, right?
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
The thing is, all of these could technically exist, right?
Yeah.
The question is whether they do exist.
Okay, no, sure. Like, all I'm saying is that in Japan, I once had a meal that was crab brain.
Okay, actually, I'm changing my mind about the brain sandwich. I think that could be a thing. So sauerkraut pancakes was like my instant no way, but like Germans are fucking weird, so
they are.
No, deep fried rattlesnake, I can totally believe, but I'm going to put that as a maybe. Popcorn and sardine milkshake sounds so gross. I don't think anyone in the world is that gross.
Yeah.
Banana and mayonnaise sandwiches sounds disgusting as well, but like I'm sure some weirdo has done that. Roadkill casserole, I can see, honestly. Like that's probably the most normal.
That's the most reasonable thing on the list, right?
And then you're right, brain sandwich. It's probably like some really like high class expensive thing. So I'm gonna go the popcorn and sardine milkshake and the. Actually, that's the only one that seems definitely fake to me, and it's probably real now. I'm going to go with
I have to check my notes now because now you're making me believe that all of these exist.
Right, I'm going for the milkshake, and then I'm going to decide the other one after Kai says.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I'm definitely with you on the popcorn and sardine milkshake because I don't think that sardine and like even without the popcorn, like the sardine milkshake, that's such a bizarre combination. I think banana and mayonnaise sandwich, as gross as it sounds, Americans love mayonnaise.
I almost said Americans probably do this.
Yeah, anything that drops fat is like an immediate like plus point. So I think I'll probably do this. Like so fucking gross. Holy smokes!
Imagine like you walk into a restaurant and this is their menu,
and you go like garçon. Could I have the banana?
Can you please like exchange the sardine for like the rattlesnake in my milkshake?
And like as you said, like marinated brain sandwich, like it's probably like a high class like a Gordon Ramsay something, right? And then sauerkraut pancakes could also technically exist because I went to Costco in Columbus, and they had like giant pallets of Oktoberfest beer and like German sausages and German this and German that, so I can kind of get why they get excited about sauerkraut. I don't like the combination with pancakes, but I guess it is what it is. You know, you still gotta like shock people sometimes. Maybe do like a one-time purchase and then they never come back. So.
Okay, so your answer is which two are fake?
So I think this popcorn and sardine milkshake is definitely fake, and I just don't think you can eat rattlesnakes. Like, aren't those like poisonous too?
Venomous, I guess.
Venomous. Yeah, but like who the hell would eat a snake, dude? I don't know.
I'm gonna go with something different. Definitely the milkshake as well, and then I don't know. I can see everything else.
Okay. I mean, that's an answer, I guess.
Oh man.
Okay, so I'm gonna randomly pick some of them and quickly explain why they exist and how they exist. So let's go first. Yes, you guys are right. The banana and mayonnaise sandwich.
Yes.
That exists in the southern US.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I consulted some sources and they said that this is actually a real thing. And honestly, I found it probably maybe the most disgusting. But okay. So next one, marinated brain sandwich that originated in the early 20th century in Indiana. And I think also Missouri, they said, but especially in Evansville, Indiana. And they became popular because of meat was more commonly used. Brain meat was more commonly used due to its availability. Like, yeah, you guess.
Nice.
Like, it's like brains. Okay. So yeah, Evansville, Indiana, you claim the marinated brain sandwich. Then next up, roadkill casserole. Apparently, like a delicacy in Montana. They said they also do like roadkill sandwiches and soups or something.
I feel like I've heard of that before, so that one was in my mind.
Oh,
yeah.
That was the easy one.
Kind of. I was second guessing, but I feel like
okay. And now for the last one, deep fried rattlesnake is a real thing in Oklahoma restaurants.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So you don't die if you eat them unless you have like an alcohol in your
sauerkraut
stomach.
pancakes is fake.
Sauerkraut pancakes is fake. That's ChatGPT.
I mean, it sounded kind of reasonable, actually.
Yeah, because Germans are so weird. I was sure that was going to be a thing.
And the popcorn and sardine milkshake is also fake.
Yeah, cool. We got that one at least.
Yay!
Awesome. Okay. Applause. You guys are really good.
Nice. Yeah, I think we're ready to enter the country then.
Oh yeah,
cool.
this is like the test you have to. What was it like going to the US? Did they ask you a lot of questions, or could you just like walk right in?
So this was one of the toughest countries to enter, I think. Like already at the Berlin airport, I got asked so many questions. Like, what are you here for? Like, who are you staying with? How long is your stay? Blah blah. Do you have guns? Like, stuff like
really?
that. Yeah. Yeah,
are you here to kill the president? No. Then whom are you gonna kill? Like, nobody. What?
I got grilled for like 15 minutes really hard at the border as well when we landed.
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah, it takes forever. Like at the New York, like the JF Kennedy Airport in New York, man. Like for anyone who wants to plan a trip to America, if that's your first airport, you better add like 1 or 2 extra hours for like passport control. Dude, it's ridiculous. It's like this massive hall. Like a football stadium almost, where like all the people end up who arrived, and like there are so many planes there, and it's kind of ridiculous, honestly, because like they ask so many questions, and like some of the questions are like they kind of repeat stuff too, and it gets really annoying after a while. But yeah,
I did it the correct way. When I arrived at JFK, the one and only time I entered through there, I immediately like walked up to the officer, and I was just like, "Hey, what do you need?" And he was like, well, what I need is a break. And then, yeah, I was going to say, then he high-fived me and everybody clapped, but that last part didn't happen.
Right, and he let you in or what? No.
Yeah, it actually was super easy.
Okay, and you accompanied him on this break. Nice.
No, I just like showed him some stuff, and he was like, yeah, sure, go here, stamp. But he also didn't ask me whether I was here to kill somebody.
Right, right.
Just my opponents.
Yeah, mine was like really, really intense. Like almost took me to the back room to ask more and stuff. It was like,
oh shit. Whoa.
To be fair, we were going to play in quote unquote work without a work permit, so it was not allowed. So that was even scarier. But
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you tell them like, why are you here for? You tell them, oh, just me visiting some friends, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Kai, you were there for work too, technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah. But I was also there to meet a lot of friends. So I lied.
Mm-hmm. Okay, easy. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So, President, if you're listening to this, then
Kai's guide to getting into the United States. Please lie all over the place.
Please don't listen.
Is your name Kaiser Watari? No, actually, it's Thomas Müller.
Yeah.
So, but did they let you in eventually? Or did they did they check like your engineered explosives? Imagine like if you come in with like a deck list and it says like 4 engineered explosives at the top, they're like, dude,
Out.
Yeah.
Out.
No, torture and then out.
We gotta fix that, yeah. But like as soon as you enter the country, you see, dude, that country is like full of eagles and American flags. Everything and everywhere and everyone.
Americans are like, they look over to you first time.
Yeah. No,
Goddamn hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, I was really wondering like where all the eagles went, you know, on the planet. They're all in America, so yeah. It's America, a very big country too.
Did you know that famous American eagle scream, which is like don't remember what it's called, but basically when you see like the typical American eagle, the screech you hear, that's actually not that eagle. It's a completely different eagle, because that eagle's screech is just like totally pathetic. And if you did that, nobody would take the country seriously anymore. So they had to dub it for any time you see an American eagle on screen and like you hear the scream of it. It's just like, yeah, it's totally fake.
Also, they have
a voice actor.
They have been lying to us for like how many years now about their animal.
No, the eagle would beat the shit out of us for sure.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I mean, not the 3 of us at the same time, but yeah.
I showed my little nieces like pictures of those prehistoric eagles that existed that used to like, you know, I think like in New Zealand they would catch like children and fly away and eat them. And I showed it to them and I was like, yeah guys, like this is real. You gotta train, like you gotta get strong to fight the eagles eventually because they will return. And they always like look at me, this is not real, is it? It's just like this 20% of doubt in their voices. I love that. Okay, I will have to pay for the psychiatrist one day, I know, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. But like, oh man, dude, it was such a great time. I went there for 2 reasons, right? For 2 events. The first one was the BCDL, aka Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy. So that's like, that event also started out very small. It's a community driven event. I didn't know that at the beginning, but Rob started this series in his kitchen actually with like 8 legacy people. They played like a mini tournament with a little bit of coverage and stream, and Rob made buffalo chicken dip for everyone and with tortilla chips, right? And that's how they started. And then like they grew over time, and now they host events up to like, I don't know, 70 and close to 100 players. And so they started like renting event rooms, and now they use like a shop, the Warped Gate in Columbus for these kind of events, and it was pretty awesome. And like the cool thing is like Rob still keeps making the buffalo chicken dip for everyone. It was like in the next room there was tortilla chips for everyone. It was really like a really nicely done community driven legacy event. Dug it a lot. And then like the week after, it was the NRG series event, which was kind of the opposite almost, because they had like hundreds of players competing in modern and team events, and like there were a couple of pros too, and very different dynamic. But yeah, I was just so fortunate to be able to join both events.
So how did you get to the first one? Did you just like, how does one get up to Buffalo? Just take a train? Is that a thing?
I think no, like I think in the US most people drive from A to B.
You just bought a car.
Yeah, dude. Like people looked really weird at me when I suggested like going for a walk. I was like, they were like, dude, like what the hell are you talking about? You know, like get on the car, like now.
No time to explain. Get in the car now.
Yeah, no, like you gotta have a car. Like everyone has a car, and that's how you go from A to B. I think in bigger cities like New York or Chicago, you can. There's probably like a public transport system. Mm-hmm. But in like quote unquote medium sized cities such as Columbus, like you don't have that as much.
Okay. So I'm looking at the results of the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy right now, and I was kind of, because I know that Michael Mapson won the entire thing, right?
So Michael Mapson won the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy 16, which happened on Sunday.
Okay, so it was like a 16-player tournament of people who didn't make day 2, or okay, you know, I'm gonna hand it to you. Just explain what happened on the weekend. Yeah,
so we had two events. Saturday it was the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy Open 3, and then on Sunday it was the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy 16. It was a little confusing. I also didn't get it at the beginning, and it was like 2 separate events. But since everyone was already came on Saturday, like most of them also stayed for the Sunday. And like it was really really nice. Like a high competition. We had like Joe Dyer who did the whole commentary. It was really cool to see him in person for the very first time. And then like a lot of really skilled Magic players, including like David Lance, like who won like the Eternal Weekend 2020.
Yeah,
vintage.
I see him in the top 8 there.
Exactly, yeah. Like he also challenged me at my direct challenge booth. Michael Mapson from the Dark Depths podcast also came. Like he took it down on Sunday. Like Romario Neto and Michael Reed. Testacula Curran. I mean, Testacula is like it's like his own chapter because like we also spent 4 days just him and me. In Columbus after the event. But like so many dedicated legacy players at once, so the competition was real.
David Jimenez took down the Saturday event, I believe that is done.
Exactly, yes, with Jeskai Control. And I told those guys that this is probably the podcast where we make like the most fun about Jeskai Control.
We would never do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
And and what's so sad about all this is that like Jeskai Control won the Saturday event, and then it made it into the finals of the Sunday event.
No.
Dude, seriously. And dude, it was your list, dude. It was your like Jason Mind Sculptor brain search nonsense.
Yeah, kind of, you've been pushing some kind of control list lately, like even
it's
like,
just miracles.
Chase.
Like, yeah.
But when you say miracles, like which kind of miracle is in that?
Terminus and Entreat the Angels.
Oh,
and
fuck
Jace.
Dude, the Mind Sculptor.
I'll be honest, like I just played it at locals because I was for nostalgia. I was like, yeah, let's try this and stuff. And then it's still good. It's still strong. That's pretty funny.
Is there anything like the Wrath of the Skies that like made it a big thing?
The Wrath of the Skies is in the deck and it's very, very, very good.
Oh yeah,
it's the kind of card that these miracle stacks would have wished for so many years, right?
Yeah, I mean it's just a cheaper pernicious deed. So miracles like struggled with Saga and stuff. Like Saga was a problem. Now Saga is a liability against these decks. It's just flipped it. It's crazy.
100%.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, dude. Like I saw I watched a couple of matches and like I saw like a Lance going like turn 1 Mox Diamond, Exploration, Saga, something like that, and then turns after like their entire board got nuked by Wrath of the Skies.
Yeah, I've had that like a few times where you just cast it for 1 and like it destroys 3/4 of their permanents. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that one more reason why we shouldn't play Great Furnace and Painter anymore?
I don't play any.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that card.
Playing them every now and then.
No.
I've ever since the ban, like we'll talk about the Grief ban in a moment. I've played a couple of Painter leagues and I usually go like 4-1, and then there's like the one loss usually where you get just like destroyed because of the Great Furnace, and it never really does anything useful for me. So yeah, I should probably just get rid of it again.
Yeah, we can talk about it then in a second.
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
But okay, Jeskai, but they're 2 different Jeskai builds, right? So the winner of the Saturday is like Jeskai. How if you said to someone Jeskai Control and Legacy, this is what they think of. I think 4 Narset, 2 Teferi, 2 Hull Breaches, which is not too common. Timeless Dragon, and then there's like 2 days Undoings to go with the Narsets, and then 4 Theolingus, 3 4 Theolingus, so aggressive. And then like Supreme Verdicts, Prismatic Endings, Forces, Swords. Back to basics.
I mean, this is what we call the mono 3 drop list, right? Like,
yeah.
Like the mana curve is absolute like.
What mana curve?
Yeah, but like I guess like you can still cast cantrips here and there. Like 4 Theolingus, like I guess if you run like so many copies, you can also like randomly jam them out in turn 3-4.
Yeah,
for like 1 or 2 tokens.
Because I would say this, it probably plays like Control, but for me this is much more like a mid-range deck. Or like pseudo combo in a way, like Narset Days Undoing is like the way you close games. So I think this deck is probably much better against something like Eldrazi than a much more like late game thing, because Narset into Days Undoing does beat your bad matchups very often if you just use removal and forces very aggressively early. So yeah,
to play like Ruination.
It's also got a fucking Dag Fade in the sideboard, which is sick as fuck. I love Dag Fade.
Yeah, dude, what's Dag Fade doing over there?
He's doing the greatest G-Story in the multiverse.
Is he gonna steal a Chalice of the Void or what?
Yeah, that's surely it.
Yeah, but one card I saw a lot during like both weekends was Consigned to Memory. It's nothing new, you know, like you see it like on online leagues everywhere, but like this is probably like the most played sideboard card at the moment, I feel.
It's because Eldrazi is like one of the top 3 decks, as everyone's probably aware of now, and that card, Sowing Microspawn, has just rocketed to like my least favorite card in the game. It's like even more than Grief. I'm not gonna like complain too much because no one wants to hear about someone complaining about a card, but I find it so offensive, like that it can just go exile your basic, search a wasteland you off like 2 lands. It's just
you know how when you start playing the game and then you get into tournament magic and like you look at all these cards to put lands into play and they're always like tapped and you feel like, oh, this is so lame, they should put it into play untapped, and then you play against this and you're like, oh yeah,
but this card would be really good if it was put the land into play untapped. Why does it exile basics and why does it put it into play untapped? I agree, like Consigned to Memory is probably one of the most played counter spells in Legacy, at least right now. It's also like the only way to really deal with it, like just one stifle, like stifle's one of the triggers, but this like does actually stop the Eldrazi cards.
Yeah, you also like, for me at least, I feel like when I play and I do like the brain dead play where I like watch Warcraft on the side and just like randomly click and it's okay. I feel like a lot of stuff is like subconscious and then you play like to 80% of your ability and that's okay. But like Consigned to Memory still catches me off guard and I still have to fully internalize all the situations that it's good in because it sometimes actually surprises me and I don't like that. Surprises are not good when you're not using your brain.
Yeah, totally. Maybe it's like a small hint for everyone who plays against Doomsday, because this card is also very good against Doomsday, against Thassa's Oracle specifically. I
actually lost to Doomsday for them playing it in a really cool way today. I had a Vexing Bulb in play and a Magus of the Moon in play, so they had only red mana, and then they cast a Lotus Petal, and they cast Consigned to Memory. Oh, they had a basic island, that's it. And they cast Consigned to Memory and then replicated it like 3 times. And I had a Painter in play and 3 blasts in my hand, but I couldn't counter all the things. So the Petal then resolved and they got to like Swords the Magus and...
That's very cool. Okay. But like if you play against Doomsday, like you don't want to spend all your mana to replicate the spell on the Thassa's Oracle trigger, because Flusterstorm is back in Doomsday. And if you tap out for all the copies, then Flusterstorm can basically get all the copies. If you only pay like a couple, you know, keep a little bit of mana open.
So you probably want to do like 3 and leave 2 mana open if you have access to that.
You want to leave open as much, like 1 more than the Doomsday player can still pay for after the Consigned to Memory. So if they like play Consigned to Memory and they have 1 island, then you want to be in a position where you can pay for 2 copies of Flusterstorm, so you have like 2 Consigned to Memories, kinda. Actually, that depends.
It's more like what your read is, how many counterspells they have, like Force Wills or something.
True. That's actually the way you do.
Then you need to do 1 more than that, and then leave everything else open, I think.
Yeah,
right. But yeah, very scary card.
It does a ton of things. Like a lot of things are just triggered abilities. Like I've had it boarded in against me on Miracles quite a lot, and it stops the Terminus trigger and stuff.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile. It's not obviously as versatile as Stifle, but it does different things as well. Like the Replicate really changes things a lot. It's much better against Eldrazi.
Yeah. It's also like, I gotta get into my brain. It counters a colorless spell, but it also counters any triggered ability, not like a colorless permanence or something. Triggered ability. Yeah, okay.
It's also just been like insane against the Cloud Post deck, like countering rings and Khans. It's I've even tried splashing blue and Painter for 4 consigns. So
really?
Yeah, it's such a good card. But then Eldrazi's been a good enough matchup to not do that. But like, it's worth trying in like every deck. If you're struggling with things that it hits, just try it. It's such a good card.
I've seen Eldrazi players lose their shit over Painter. Just like, what do you mean? Like all of my lands do almost nothing anymore.
Quite deserved, to be fair. Their mana base is so broken.
That's a pretty cool side effect.
Yeah.
But before we go deeper into what Legacy looks like right now, Kai, do you wanna like continue? Like, what is your entire journey like? You've been on the rope for like 3 weeks or something?
No, like it was 1.5. I kept it really short.
Whoa, that was actually really short though.
Yeah, and like because like one of the reasons was because I wanted to get the full American experience with Karen, aka Testicular, meaning that we ate all the things that were like stereotypical for the US, and I couldn't like I couldn't extend my stay for longer than 1.5 weeks, because otherwise you probably literally just die, after all this food. But like, yeah, we had chicken waffles, we had like chicken rings. That's also like something that only exists there. It's like a donut, but it's
chicken rings, like onion rings, but with chicken inside.
Yeah, basically that. It's
Some
onion rings,
fried
but
chicken rings.
exactly. And I felt like,
I should have put that in the list in the beginning.
yeah, dude.
Okay.
And then, like, I don't know, like, even, like, the ice cream, like, is not normal, like, you don't have, like, chocolate ice cream or strawberry, but instead you have ice cream flavors like sweet cream biscuit with peach jam.
Okay, so it's
or
always
like,
gotta be, like, 4 or 5 words at the very, like, it can't be, like, I don't know, lemon.
It's like a whole haiku. It's like a whole poem, That's your flavor.
You gotta recite it like a proper haiku.
Yeah. I mean,
cool.
But like, yeah, it was really, really cool. Like, the downtime in those between those two events, like quality time with Curran, and we just hang around, didn't play much Magic, but we talked about Magic a lot. Like, we smoked a little bit, drank a few drinks, had good company, like, and explored the city, and it was really, really cool.
Cool. Did Curran wear his like really cool, I think, Hawaii shirt? He posted a picture of that.
Yeah, all the time.
So
dude.
cool. Dude, seriously.
Yeah.
Shout out to that shirt. I think I still don't understand. Like, you actually played in one of those events, or did you just do your booth the entire time?
I did the Sauerkraut booth in both events, all days, like both Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got to play a lot of Magic. In fact, I got challenged 40 times.
Whoa.
And had my combined direct challenge record of 23-17-0.
3-2, baby.
Yeah, it's really strange that there were no draws, but yeah. But like people were like so excited about the Wheel of Fortune, and holy smokes, dude! It's like it just really kicked off. Like sometimes you can roll like all creatures have haste, and like you end up playing against like the Delva Mirror and like Murktars have haste and all that. I also had like a
That sounds pretty stupid, honestly.
yeah, like so almost like a lava axe, kind of like in your face.
Yeah,
sort of.
A lava axe that sticks around and keeps hitting you every single turn.
Yeah, dude.
Until your opponent finds a bigger lava axe.
Dude, and then like and I had my Cradle Control deck, and my challenger was on Dimir Scam, I think, and they rolled the turn 2 Deathrite Shaman for both players. And like Deathrite Shaman, so we both got a Deathrite Shaman on our second turn for free. And Deathrite Shaman was actually very good versus Scam. Surprise, surprise.
No way.
Yeah.
Especially with bios in your deck.
It was
also
pretty excellent in a Cradle Control deck, I gotta say.
No way. God,
but like,
everyone listen to Everyday Eternal for hard hitting things like this. Like you would never believe the Death
like really good in the Cradle deck. Oh yeah. I've heard about that.
Man, like Americans, they love Magic so much.
But actually, if Death Ray was unbanned, would it be better in Scam or in Cradle? Do you think?
Probably the deck that can untap it more often. So like,
I think the deck would like look quite different, because then all of a sudden like Quirion Ranger becomes so much better again. Like you know how you would like murder people with like Deathrite Shaman and Quirion Range over the course of 2 turns.
I remember playing Control, and like you can't go to 10 life because
it's over.
That's where you die.
They play like Cradle. They play Cavern on Elf and like Quirion Ranger. You're like, okay, that's it. Scoop them up with like 20 angels in play. Oh, sorry, can't beat that.
I mean, that's what you did for so many years, no?
Yeah, I got a lot of people. Like, I think part of my success with elves is people really heavily underestimating how quickly the machine gun kills of Deathrite Shaman and Quirion Ranger. If you're willing to give up land drops, you can hit them for 6 over a single turn cycle. And then if you have like a viable symbiote, even more, 8, 10. Nice. It's insane.
Yeah, that's just absurd.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we already know that. So you went on to the NRG event. Which NRG event? I think it was like in
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a city called Madison. Not the biggest city in there, but they explained to me that like the larger events like Star City and NRG, they have to do in like medium-sized cities because of the rent, basically. Like, renting a hall is super expensive, and you can't do that in places like Chicago, for example.
Yeah, I see. Did you get to meet Norm?
Yes. Oh man, good guy. Like we talked a little bit. He was like so busy doing all the
He's the guy who basically, I want to say, owns NRG and like makes everything happen. Is the main man for anything NRG.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like he was in charge for everything. Like he was basically the person I talked to the whole time, and he also did the coverage, or like the how do you say, the behind the scenes coverage.
Yeah, he does a lot of like the behind the scenes work for us.
Exactly, yeah, and like he also saw my booth in action, and like, man, here's one thing. I'll definitely be back to 2025. I think for more NRG events. This was just too much fun.
There's like 10 or something a year, so there's a lot of reasons to go.
I might as well like just move there.
Dude, I'd love to meet those guys like in person after working with them for so many years.
Absolutely. The last shout out also goes to like someone who kind of means a lot to me in terms of my legacy career, and that person is Caleb Durward. I think
it means a lot to a lot of people's legacy career.
Yeah,
he's like, Caleb was like one of the OGs.
I think Caleb is mostly known for his streams, I think, because he streams so much Magic. But like back then in 2010, it was like this one really like poorly done with your handy camera video at GP Columbus 2010.
I know exactly which video you mean.
And he played a survival Vengevine Madness deck. It was blue
like from Murbar and something, right?
Yeah, you should hate him. He got survival banned.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you know when you came into Magic by what you know Caleb for, because to me he's like the painter and survival guy.
See, I didn't even know about painter. I just knew
he played tons of it when like Top was legal and stuff.
Oh my goodness,
Caleb's like an OG, and he's so fun to watch stream as well. Like he's top 3 player for me. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's also just like such a fun dude. Like I think I've had him every single season of the Legacy Premier League or Mediocre League when he started out, and he's just like one of the more. He actually beat me in the finals of the very first one.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Let's go, Caleb. So where did you meet him? At the NRG?
So that was at the NRG, yeah.
Sick.
Had like a very small talk with him, but like that video and just him being so passionate about the survival deck, it really made me excited about Legacy as a format, right?
I think he lost to Tomoharu Saito in semis or something.
Like, that GP was stacked too. It was like Tomoharu Saito who won it with like Dimir Merfolk with like Parrish in the sideboard, and then like Brian Cook was also like baby Brian Cook was also in the top 8 too with his first Epic Storm build. I think that looked like much different than the deck list these days.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of those decks. Wasn't there? Did I want to say Tom Martell, but it was not Tom Martell. Actually,
it was Tom Martell.
Was it Tom Martell? Okay.
Yeah, on a Fire Spout, Senza Divining Top, Supreme Blue deck, I think. It's called
something like that, right? That was like 2010, right? I believe.
Exactly. It's like I think it's like Vendilion Clicks and Countertop Balance, Jason Mind Sculptor.
It was gas. That whole
and he even did. He had a sideboard Lavant Sephiroth Impress in the sideboard.
We used to do that for Murfolk, right? That was the big thing. Like it was one of the ways you can actually like try to regain some tempo against Murfolk.
Insanity. That card, insanity.
Oh man, dude, that's amazing. Dude, you asked us whether we wanted to come. I couldn't really make it work, but you certainly made me want to go again.
Yeah.
And you say after everything you've said about American food, you're definitely gonna be back anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Happy to eat chicken rings for 2 weeks. So definitely.
It's a fun play on wings and rings.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because it sounds so natural too.
Yeah.
What is this like? You have a show note that says "No guns allowed."
Oh yeah. Also, that was probably like one of my favorite pictures. Is just like it's so many places. At the entrance, you have like a random sign that says like "No guns allowed," and that's like their main sign on the door. I don't know. There are like parts of me that will probably never understand the US, but.
Actually, I've seen those signs in China at like tourist attractions, but it was like usually it's like big machine guns and they're crossed out. So like no machine guns allowed, but I guess pistols are okay. Yeah, I want to go. Like I've been to the US twice, and it's like right now it's like not on my short list of places I want to see, but it sounds like you had a really, really great time there.
Well, definitely want to repeat. Maybe for Eternal Weekend, you know. Every year.
Yeah, you actually can do both, right? You can do Europe and you can do the US.
Definitely.
You should do Japan as well, right? You could be one of those guys.
Oh my goodness.
The trifecta, like hit all of the 3 events. But before you go on, by the way, Kai, are you a Doomsday player now? Because I kind of want to actually clarify that, because I need that in my life to understand what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. No, like you know, like when grief was a big thing in Legacy, like I was a little off the deck because, you know, of how like ridiculously strong grief is against Doomsday. And like after a while, like you can only brew this much, you know, and then you get to a point where you just kind of acknowledge that, you know, the deck doesn't really do well in this metagame. But like now I'm really excited. In fact, like I went to the Paper Legacy event yesterday in Berlin and went undefeated, which is really cool. Yeah, dude, lucky.
Dude, I saw that on WhatsApp and I almost wanted to post something like fixed or something, like rigged.
Yeah, dude, like in Germany you sometimes see like even a blind chicken finds food.
Even a blind chicken finds an oracle twice a day.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's almost exactly the saying that we have in Germany. It's just like kind of weird. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you already teased it. I think if you're listening to this, you already know. And I think honestly, everybody already knew this 6 weeks ago. We were literally just sitting here waiting for time to pass. But drumroll, Grief has been banned in Legacy, and nobody was surprised, right? So
and the crowd went mild.
The crowd went so mild. I looked into their reasoning, and basically for me, the core reason that sticks out is what they are quoting here. Various flavors of Reanimator strategies have long been viable in Legacy, but they have been generally kept in check by the strongest anti-graveyard cards ever printed being widely available. Grief presents a threat that synergizes well with reanimation effects while being able to attack the hate cards opponents would traditionally present. And I think that last sentence absolutely nails it, right? Because not only is Grief like a card that hits our ways of fighting back, it also synergizes with all the other things the deck is doing. Like the closest thing Reanimator ever had was like Thoughtseize, because the one synergy it had was you could target yourself and then like reanimate something, which is like horrible in the face of like a protection or a hate card. But now Grief does basically both, right? It takes out two cards and presents a body. It's just like, yeah, seriously.
I completely agree. This was my big thing with the card. Like, the card is not fun, and everyone knows that as well, but like, it made the deck so resilient against Surgical and Fairy Macabre, like the big ones. And you just like, I even like didn't bring in Fairy sometimes because I got the read that they might just go to the fair plan and stuff. But even if you do, like, you have it, and then they grief you, and then they take your like removal spell and your action spell, and then they leave you with a thing, and they're like, okay, well now I'm going to brainstorm away the things. It was so easy for them to fight these hate cards. Like sometimes they had to walk into it, but it was rare, and it was too strong.
The big thing was the mid-range plan with Grief like working really well, which like traditionally in Reanimator was rather weak.
And like, yes, sure, Thoughtseize and Unmask take something, but like Unmask doesn't synergize with Reanimate things like Grief does, which is a real thing. People do die to the just Grief the attacking you. Like I know people said, oh, you can just Unmask, but like I died so many times to a Grief just attacking me in my deck full of removal. Like it happens. And Thoughtseize is a mana. Grief is free. That is a huge, huge difference in a deck trying to just cast like an entombment or reanimate. Like and then like that gives them the opportunity to ponder or brainstorm for it. It's just like, huge.
Yeah. Basically, like Grief is a protection spell that also puts a creature into the graveyard, which is like something Thoughtseize could never.
Yeah,
unless you take the opponent's like creature and then reanimate their Tarmogoyf or something, like these corner case scenarios, I guess then it works. But Grief, you always have that, and that's kind of cool. So nobody's surprised here. I think the only one thing that was worth mentioning for us is they mentioned, dude, how many times have I said mentioned? They talked about Eldrazi and Psychic Frog being on basically the watch list. They're not using the exact phrase watch list, but this is what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. So they said like Eldrazi is like really good and really popular, and Psychic Frog as well, but right now, they don't want to do too much. They just want to see what happens after they get banned Grief, and I honestly fully agree with that.
What's your thoughts on just banning Grief and your reaction?
I predicted that, and also this is basically what I wanted. Eternal Turtles did a really cool video. I didn't watch all of it, but they interviewed something like 25 Legacy people in the vicinity of Legacy about their thoughts about what should happen, what will happen,
like ban Vexing Bauble and stuff.
Yeah, there was like a lot of interest. There were a lot of interesting takes, at least from the ones that I did see. I didn't see all of it, but my take was Grief is gonna get banned, and I want Grief to be banned, and that's it. That's it.
Okay. No more. Kai, what about yourself?
Yeah, like I honestly only expected a Grief ban and like nothing in addition. I'm just happy that they did something, you know. Because again, like Legacy is you know a format for like people who are really dedicated about like these old cards plus the new stuff. And I'm just very happy that they, did something. I would have wished for a little more, but I think that's okay for now. Also, like Legacy has a lot of good counter magic and removal and all of that. It's not like Psychic Frog has like hexproof or anything. It dies to a lot of stuff. So
I wanted more, but so I've been left pretty disappointed. Like I've been left feeling very unexcited about the format, even though I can't exactly describe why. It just feels like the same thing. Everyone knew Grief was coming. It feels like we're a whole ban cycle behind. Like Grief should have been done last time. Everyone agrees. Everyone knows it. It was ridiculous. It wasn't done. So now we feel like we're a whole thing behind. And even if they gave us like, they could have given us one unban of a bad card. Or what I really wanted was them to say Frog or Eldrazi, how they said it, they're on the watch list, and we maintain the right to just take more action before Eternal Weekends if we feel necessary. I just wanted something more because Grief was such low hanging fruit, and it was obviously going to happen and stuff. I'm just left feeling like, okay, this is what it should be months ago, and now I'm just struggling to feel interested in the format. Like it's like blue-black decks are clearly still so strong. Like I think there is a chance Frog does get banned in the future. I'm usually a person that really wants to take things slowly. I don't think it's clear that Frog should or will get banned yet, but I want them to just give themselves the out before like their biggest events of the whole year and stuff. So I just wanted something else. I was left pretty disappointed. Yeah.
You have a pretty good point because, as you mentioned, right? Everybody 6 weeks ago knew that Grief was gonna be gone. It was like the worst kept secret. Even Wizards was kind of like, yeah, it's gonna get banned in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you get your birthday present early-ish, and then your birthday rolls around and it's like, hey, it's your birthday, and you get nothing. You only get what we already bought for you and that you already knew about, and you kind of already accepted.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly that.
So like politically or marketing-wise, it would have been like really good if they had picked an exciting but inconsequential card from the ban list, like Earthcraft, and just be like, by the way, this is unbanned. So that this is at least something, right? This is like when your friends give you something extra for your birthday, even though it's like nothing expensive, but just like something that excites you for a while.
Exactly. Like, again,
Wizards are the most horrible people for birthday gifts. I just realized. Like 6 weeks early, they're going to tell you, okay, Callum, you're going to get this and that, and then you're going to be happy, and then we're going to like embrace and like high five.
But like, they gave us Mind's Desire a year ago. Like, how cool is that? And
it was pretty cool.
It was insane, actually.
I think it's still so cool. It's such a cool card to have in the format, even though it's not seeing a ton of play. It's just an awesome card, and it was so exciting when it happened because we're like, oh, it might happen more again. I think this was a really good opportunity to just like do something like that. As I said, my main thing is just like give a bit more thing, like just give yourself an option to take out Psychic Frog before Eternal Weekend, because
you think it's happening?
I think it might do after Eternal Weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's really impressive.
I guess I'm looking at it from the guy who plays like 7 main deck blasts, so it's different.
Yeah, it makes quite a difference. Yeah, I mean, on that note, we have a listener question from Needon saying, "Gut reaction: will Frog get banned in December?" And I'm going yes.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
So either that, or they print something that makes it really like not favorable for Frog's deck to play Frog. I don't know exactly what it is, but like it's kind of similar to what happened to Bowmaster. Like the card kind of soft banned itself just because of all the other hotness we got. Meanwhile,
I think Frog just pushed out Bowmasters. Like Bowmasters is still being played, but Frog is just the best 2-drop in the format, like by so far, and it takes the slot of Bowmasters in the decks that would play Bowmaster. So I think if Frog gets banned, Bowmasters are back in even more numbers and higher and stuff.
Right.
The thing with Frog is like it's right for the Frog player to force a will or removal spell on it. It just works. And that's a problem. I think that's a kind of a bar to hit, and then it's just like, well, shit, you forced my swords, now you've drawn a card and you're back on parity again, and then I need to find another removal spell, and oh shit, you're like threatening to entomb or animate, or you're threatening to play a Tamiyo and flip it, or you're threatening to play another Frog. It snowballs really fast. It completely pushed out like Moonstompy just cannot deal with it like in reasonable ways. It's been played in fair decks and tempo decks, like mid-range decks and tempo decks and combo decks. Like the Doomsday deck with Frogs is insane. I think that's a really, really strong direction to take it. Called DDFT, Doomsday Frog Tempo.
Tendrils Frog Tempo.
Exactly. Amazing name.
Oh, that's cool. Frog Tempo.
I just think the card is absolutely everywhere, as it should be, because I think it is too good, and I think it will be banned in December, but I kind of feel like it's too early to do it, so I wasn't surprised to not see it. But I thought there's a chance they take like action in advance because it is saying such high play, and it is deservedly seeing such high play because it is so strong.
I still remember when we first talked about this like 4 or 5 episodes ago, and for like the entire time you thought this is like +1/+1 until end of turn.
I knew it was counters when I put the card on our sheet, but then when I was talking about it, I thought it was +1/+1 to end of turn. And I still thought it was good.
Thought it was like insane, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like as soon as it came online, I started playing lots of like just Grixis Delver tempo stuff, and so many games against like a Stompy deck, I would just discard my hand and kill them in 2 turns. So like the fact that it can do that. Or it can play this slow game where you just generate card advantage. It's so just easy to play, I think. Like, people think it's hard to play because it has all these decisions, but it kind of just tells you what to do in the game state. It's like...
It's like you can ask the frog, and the frog's first, like, just discard your hand.
And opponents can't, like, attack into it or block it very well because you just control all the ways it interacts and stuff.
How long until people start playing, like, Urza's Glasses or Telepathy or something so they can know when it's safe to, like, go all frog?
No, the information is there already. You've got 5 cards in hand. That's it. You can make it a 6/7. That's the information. You don't need to see that hand.
Yeah. I gotta say, like what's really good against Psychic Frog is something like Baleful Strix, right? So, like, we might... This is a little vague, but, like... I don't know, like maybe we might end up in a situation where
rock paper scissors.
Yeah, like we have like a lot of like Icewind Quartles back maybe, and some Strixes, you know, a lot of things that have like Death Touch and flying. That's really important, or Death Touch and Reach.
But the Frog decks play Bowmasters, like
exactly.
That's what I mean, right?
And we need the Frogs players to not play Bowmaster.
Okay, so if we ask them nicely, that's your solution. Just please, guys, don't do this.
So you're like, okay, no, seriously, like rock paper scissors is fine as long as nobody plays scissors.
Exactly.
Thank you, your paper player.
You know what? I've been pretty against a legacy like format panel, but I want Kai on there. This is how to do it.
Thank you. Yeah. We just
Kai has it fixed, right?
Everyone, please don't play this.
Pretty please.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work out, but yeah, the thing is, like, I can see Psychic Frog being banned on Legacy at some point, but since the question was in December, I don't think it's banned in December. I mean, that's kind of like a cheap cop-out, kinda, because I don't have to make a proper announcement.
It's fun. You're saying no, I'm saying yes.
Okay, yeah, actually, disagreement is good, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the most boring podcast is the one where everybody agrees to. It's actually like some kind of podcast where they like push it to the max, where somebody makes a statement, everybody's like, yeah, sure, yeah. Like, okay, next one. Can you repeat the question? Here we go.
Kai, what do you think, Kai? You have to decide.
Oh yeah, no, like this card is probably getting banned at some point.
Dude, that's middle of the road.
Okay, all right, it's gonna get banned. Period.
Which
in
month?
December?
No, probably Ace. I think before the Eternal Weekend, honestly.
What? Okay, that's interesting.
Okay,
we are like
that.
completely different stances now. Or maybe Kylum also agrees that's going to be banned before.
I mean,
I don't think it will, just because in the BNR, like, they didn't have any mention of it. They've said the next BNR is December, the date. So they've said that they're not doing something before Eternal Weekend, essentially. So if they go back on it, they'll change their minds.
Is that after all the 3 events, or is it like in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
the article literally said the next BNR is after Eternal Weekend, and there was no note about saying if we think it's a problem, we're gonna change it before it. Which that's my big problem with the announcement. I think that would have been enough.
Mm-hmm,
but
yeah, but I think like moving towards Eternal Weekend, I think a lot of players might try to find ways with their archetype to combat Frog or to join the Frog, right? It's gonna be like a little polarized maybe, but we've been in that situation so many times already where like one card like be the card like Dig Through Time, or I don't know, Dread Arcanist or Oko, or like Death Ray Shaman, stuff like that, or like Sense of Dividing Top Counterbalance, like where those cards were so good that people most of the time found a way to attack that angle.
It was miserable. Like by saying like found a way to attack that angle that meant like pushing a like 38% matchup to like 42 at the cost of like making everything totally worse.
And like Dig Through Time, Julian just stopped playing.
Yeah,
I mean,
one time.
Fine.
I bought a PlayStation 4 and played.
No, like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like, it's going to make the format revolve around it, and that's I mean, always a terrible thing.
Here's the thing: like, everyone is definitely going to talk about a Psychic Frog like the entire weekend, right? Like, but it's not like everyone's gonna be on the Frog. I think
the one thing that makes me like have like sympathy for the Frog is just that
artwork.
Yeah, artwork, but also it's kind of like a cool card to play with.
It's
Sounds
really,
like-
really, really fun to play with.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like when I was playing all these like tempo decks and stuff, it's a blast. Like you feel so in control with it. It's so powerful. And
Feels like such a noob stomper card, right?
yeah, sure. I'm a noob then. It's stumping me. Yeah, it's. I think it's just easy to get like. We're like where we were with. I don't know, when people started playing Grief and Reanimate, it was kind of like, oh shit, that's a thing you can do. It's kind of interesting. And then we got bored of that at some point. And Frog, I completely agree, is a really fun card to play with. I think people are just not quite there of like getting sick of playing against it, but I don't know.
Maybe you're right.
Like,
but the thing is, like, if anything ever happens to Frog, like Eldrazi's gonna run rampant. I mean, it already does, right?
It does, yeah. I think Eldrazi, I don't think that these are technically intertwined, but like you're right, if Frog is a big card against Eldrazi, like it stops them a lot. So if Frog was banned, Eldrazi might become more of a problem. I think Eldrazi is weirdly easier to attack. Their mana base is pretty bad, but
that's hard. It's absolutely atrocious.
yeah,
mana base.
but at the same time the deck is so fast, it's sometimes, even if you're playing lands, sometimes they just go so
I keep
fast.
losing to that one Eldrazi that nobody ever plays in a list that like top 8. The one that gives haste and attacks you immediately for like 5, and the next turn attacks you for like 8,
yeah.
and then you're just like straight up dead.
Line Breaker.
Line breaker,
yeah.
dude. Nobody, like, whenever I see lists, nobody ever plays that. But I play against it, and I literally lose in turn 3. And not even like basically that turn 3, like literally 0 life turn 3.
It's still about, there's a few variations, but people are settling on green as like the way to go at least. And then do you go like red for Line Breaker as well? The last challenge that did well, I can't remember if it's the Showcase Challenge or another one, was playing Once Upon a Time like 3 or 4 Yavimeyas and then obviously 4 Ayavugan. And so it's just trying to play Myca Spawns as fast as possible. Like, and that's a way to go, because Myca Spawn, I think, is everyone's saying Glaring Flashlight here, but like I think Myca Spawn is the problem card in the deck.
Myca Spawn is just like, it hits you, and then immediately hits you again. You're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Let me clarify that. The problem is the mana base. The mana base is absurd. Like, you're just playing all soul lands and plus fast mana, and then cards that just like snowball and are really strong.
Wait, one of them actually plays Gaia's Trail, because we have the list here, like the first post-Grief challenge that was won by Raiden playing Eldrazi. And Raiden is actually playing seeing a copy of Gaia's Cradle.
Well, yeah, because if you cast so if you've got like 3 or 4 creatures in play, the Myca Spawn just goes against the Cradle, and it's untapped. And it's
that's why oh god,
Yeah.
that's disgusting. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, is that disgusting?
Yes, we're getting there. Before you even think about casting Kozzet's Command to make like 6 Scions, and then you cast it and go and get Gaia's Cradle, activate your Ayavugan. It's kind of like you're going off in a combo way. The mana base is really broken, and that's how you have to attack the deck as well, but sometimes it just gets out from under you. But like, yeah, for me, Myca Spawn, being able to like exile a basic and then get a wasteland and wasteland you as well is just a lot of games. Decks just can't come back from that. It's off cast triggers, like, so you have to play consigned to memory. So if you're not playing blue, tough shit. Yeah, this is my problem, and as you can tell, I'm really sick of Myca Spawn already. But hey, there we are.
Yeah, I also get like wrecked by Wastegapes Battle Mage sometimes. The card's kind of annoying. I mean, it's like here it's just like as 2 on the sideboard.
Yeah,
it's just like if you need it, and if you need more of this kind of effect, this is the perfect card for it.
Yeah, it's really strong as well.
So what else do we see there in the top 8? Because like the second place list, holy shit, this is like probably the deck I would have expected the least. Even calling it a deck is already like pretty generous. So this is Root Slay playing Dragon.
Hell
like,
yes.
Literal dragon, like World Gotcha Dragon, animate that.
It's a reanimated deck. It's got 4 Grizzlebrand, but there is a World Gotcha Dragon, which is just cool as fuck. So Root Slay has a YouTube channel and posted the whole challenge play. So I think you just search Root Slay on YouTube and you'll go and find it, which is cool. Otherwise, I retweeted his post the other day. So if you want to go and see some Dragon gameplay, go and check it out. So yeah, this is how to get me to like Reanimator, because I think Dragon is just super cool. So otherwise, you've got Unmasks and Thoughtseize and Reanimates and Tombs and stuff.
Oh, and there's the Chain of Smog combo in the sideboard, so you don't have to go through the graveyard postboard.
I love that. Yeah, the sideboard is literally 4 Chain of Smog, 4 Sedgemoor Witch, 4 with Bloom Apprentice, and then 3 Fairy Macabres.
Yeah, it's a really cool deck. Like also probably like the deck that gets the most use out of the Surveillance, I think. Because because World Gotcha Dragon like makes like blink all the time, and you get extra Surveil triggers. Like that we didn't have when World Gotcha got unbanned. right? I think people also like tried stuff with like Arkham's Astrolabe, I think, to blink it and
So the idea
like,
is with the dragon. I'm working out here, but like I think with the Underground Mortuary, you just keep surveilling things in the graveyard till you hit an Archon, and then you can. There's something to do.
Then you like Archon blinks along with
I guess
dragon, right?
Yeah, Grizzlebrander attacks is going to find a second animate Dead of Dance of the Dead, and then you bring something back that's not the dragon, so the loop stops, and then you animate Dead of the dragon again, and then you loop the Archon of Cruelty. That's how you win in the same turn.
And then you drain them out of the Archon in one single turn, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Or, okay, yeah, that's possible. Also,
Kai just looked at this. He was like, maybe just like get a big World Gotcha Dragon.
Yeah,
sure.
Or this deck was just a ordinary Reanimator deck, and they just added the World Gotcha Dragon as their 61st card.
That could be a thing, but then again, they're playing like 4 Dance of the Dead.
Yeah.
And they're also like not playing Exhume, Reanimate, and that kind of stuff because it doesn't work with like the World Gotcha Dragon combo.
I mean, the one
that is very
Dragon
strange, yeah.
does just let the deck win on the same turn, which I think has been a problem with these non-blue Reanimator decks quite often, especially as Painter, but like I think a lot of decks can beat the big monsters. Like when I played Miracles as well, you can Terminus the big monsters. Yeah, they drew loads of cards, but you fight them in other ways and stuff. So I saw Black-Red lose quite often after just doing the thing. But here, you just kill. So that's cool.
So what else is there on the top right? We got 2 more copies of Eldrazi. We got Blue-Black Frog Aggro, which is probably going to be the follow-up deck to what used to be the Grief deck. We have Wilk here, Angelo Cadei, one of the most successful European Legacy players of all time. So I want to say, called Wiki on Magic Online, playing blue-white control, splashing red for 2 4th Lingers in the sideboard.
It's Jeskai, yeah. But look at this. 2 Back to Basics main, a Ruination sideboard, and 2 Harbinger of the Sea sideboard. It's like, screw your mana base, Eldrazi. Yeah. And then 4 Narsets. So blue-whitey Jeskai stuff. There's a basic mountain somewhere, so it's, Jeskai.
Tamiyo is kind of cool. Like if you play that stupid mirror match where you want to kind of side out your Swords of Plowshares, but you can't because Tamiyo would go insane.
Yeah. I've got to say, Tamiyo is an amazing card. I was really, really wrong about it originally, and like I was quite low on it. I just thought I was so hyper-focused on, she attacks, gets a clue, and then cracking clues is a very slow, ploddy thing. Like it's 2 mana here. But actually just being able to like flip it and then protect the queen and then win. Someone's like explained it in a way to me that kind of clicked a bit in my head where the ultimate is 2 turns faster than a Delver attacking for lethal. And it's just a threat you deploy on turn 1. So, and then flipping it turn 2. And Delver's very good at playing Protect the Queen, like it always has been if you want that to be your gameplay. So yeah, Tamiyo is an insanely strong card.
You know what's annoying to me? When Tamiyo is like blocking or you're trying to remove it, and then they just like brainstorm a response and flip it.
Yeah. And I see people like go for the ultimate, like it's probably often correct, but just when she goes like, hey, here's a flip off a brainstorm in response to a removal spell, you're already up a card on your 1-drop, and then she like pluses, and then if she just -3s to get back like a cantrip or a swords or a force of will, then she's attacked and died. Like it's very easy to just get a couple of cards out. Maybe she attacked and got a clue as well, and then you're playing a mid-range or a control deck, you crack the clue later. So for a 1-drop, her ceiling is so high, and the floor is pretty high as well. Yeah, I really underrated the kind of the inevitability of a flipped one as well.
Yeah, I think I fully realized that when my opponent played it on the first turn, I couldn't remove it. And also, like, I was playing, I think, like a slower hand with paint. And I felt like, dude, this is like putting some serious pressure on me.
Yeah.
Just like strategic pressure in the sense of like card advantage and like their development and everything.
Absolutely.
It makes you feel bad. And when a 1-drop makes you feel bad, you know it's good.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, this card is absolutely here to stay. I think blue-black decks are quite rightly playing just like 4 Tamiyo, 4 Frog. And then, God, that's a lot of pressure. Yeah.
So one more deck, or rather archetype I want to talk about, Callum, very quickly. What's the way to build Painter right now? Because I've played Boros Painter lately this week, and I've had a lot of fun with it, but I'm not sure. It was just like a gut feeling that it did and worked well, but you're my Painter guy, right? You tell me what to do and then I try to win. Yeah,
I think Mono Red is the way to go. I don't think much changed. Like, our Scam matchup was solid to good. Like, I think Scam players said it was really good, and I always felt like, I don't know, against the good players it's hard. But I don't think you change it very much. I was never super into the Agatha Soul Cauldron builds, or not as much as just like normal red with Nice's Hearses. But now just cut some of the graveyard stuff. The Hearses are still very good against like the Netherglyphs and stuff, but it's a popular card, but like you can deal with it in other ways. So I would just build mono red. I played a league today with 2 Khans, which is kind of nice because Khan is not good against tempo, but he's especially not good against tempo with lightning bolts, because like you play him, you resolve him, and then you minus him, get something, and then gets bolted. Or if you plus him, it gets attacked by a Delver and then bolted. Like, it never worked out. But against blue-black, you can play to this control game and you can clear the board, and then he helps you with the unfair matchups. He also stops clues cracking against Tamiyo, which is kind of nice. Goes and gets a needle, which hits Tamiyo and Frog and things. So I don't know if Khan's the way to go, but I think mono red, just playing like 8 blasts, probably 7 main one side, and then a bunch of bolts and stuff. It's just really solid way to do it. So I wouldn't splash, because like, what is swords hitting that blast isn't these days?
Oh, it wasn't even for swords. Like,
okay.
my build was kind of like neither here nor there. It was literally just playing 2 copies of Fourth Erlingers for white, and that's it.
I do like that though. So Wrath of the Skies is a very problematic card for Painter. I'm kind of trying to mitigate it as much as possible, but it's like by not playing to the board so much. I don't play any Great Furnace. Planeswalkers are a good way to beat it. So Khan is kind of the idea, like he'll help against control a bit. He can go and get your grindstones or painters that'll get exiled with swords and prismatic ending and stuff. Another way to go is Lightwalker, aka Robert. He's been playing black for Bowmasters because it's just not on people's radars from Painter again. And so it helps against control. It's he's playing Duretti as well, the 3-mana Duretti, but he said that's
the trash Duretti.
Yeah, he said that's just a bit of fun, but like Planeswalkers are a way to mitigate Wrath of the Skies, so that's a possible way. But I don't think there's anything fancy to be doing really. Just play mono red.
Yeah, see that's the thing for me, because I also figured, okay, let's remove some of the cutback on the graveyard stuff, and then I look at the deck and I'm like, I don't even know what I want on top of what I already have. So I was like, let's just get the card that's the most fun, and that was Fourth Erlingers for me, so I put in 2 copies, and then I made like 2 tokens in the first turn.
Yeah, Fourth is very good against the Wrath of the Skies decks as well. Like, yeah, they can wipe your tokens quite easily, but they can struggle to get back the, whatever it's called, the Monarch. Yeah, that's the one. So
yeah. So the other thing that I was struggling with, that I didn't know how to build, was Vexing Bobble. Do I still want like 3 to 4 copies?
Yeah.
Probably 3 at least.
So Bauble is just so good in the deck. Yeah. I think 3 is felt like the sweet spot, because you do get like flood on them sometimes, but it's just so good in the deck. I beat combo all the time by just Vexing Bauble randomly doing it, or like it lets you resolve your Magus of the Moons underneath people and stuff. It just going like turn 1 Bauble off a basic mountain into like turn 2 Fable against Delver Control is just such a warm fuzzy feeling. Yeah. So I think Fury is a lot better in the deck again, because it's good in the mirror. It's decent against Eldrazi. It's good against the Cradle decks. I think Death and Taxes is actually quite a bad matchup now, so I wanted to mitigate that. But Bauble helps in so many other ways that it's better than Fury, I think. So yeah, I'm totally on. I'm 3 Baubles.
I think that the list that I played with last time had like 3 to 4 copies of Bauble and like 2 copies of Fury or something, or 3 copies of Fury even. Just because I was like, I agree. I kind of wanted Fury, and I added Fourth Erlingers. And I think I added some more Simian Spirit Guides or something. Dude, actually, I must have removed so many cards, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, because I also removed the Phyrexian Devourer. And I think I wasn't playing Chaos Defiler, so all of a sudden I had so many spots. And
yeah, now Reanimate's still seeing some play, but it's a lot less. So Defiler's back, because it's very good against Eldrazi as well.
Okay,
so,
I see that. Yeah,
so Defiler's definitely back. I was still mostly on Defiler, but I played it a lot without it as well recently, but yeah. I know. I think the deck, it's kind of like, if you imagine mono red, like just very stock basic. That's kind of how I'd build it right now. I think is the best way.
So what about lightning bolts?
3. I've got 3.
Oh, you do. So how many blasts do you have done?
7 blasts and 3 bolts main.
Whoa, okay.
Because I think I was definitely the whole time while Scam was legal on 7 blasts main one side.
Yeah.
And then I had, I think 3 blasts main and 3 bolts main on one side, because it's just good against Eldrazi. And then, it hit Griefs as well, but now obviously
it's good against Eldrazi because it also hits the Fleshraker and stuff. And
it's Fleshraker, the Microspawn, the Haste guy, your favorite Linebreaker.
Oh, Linebreaker, that's the stupid one. That one's gonna be banned by December,
Sure. Yeah. So it just feels good to have so much removal. Like against Delver in the tempo decks, I side out like a Grindstone and 2 Painters and just be like, I'm the control deck. I'm going to play the slow game. I'm going to kill absolutely every single creature in your deck.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. And you just don't try and put pressure. Don't ever like play into days. Just play your lands, play it slow, and just remove every single threat, and they can never deal with that.
Yeah. Painter seems good.
Yeah.
I like it right now.
So I did about Khan, as I said, but just, yeah. I think I played
I have some of them lying around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after like 2 years as a Painter player, it's actually been that long. I feel like I have almost all configurations available in paper, which is kind of cool. You know, you arrived at a deck when you have that. Like I used to have that in the elves for years, even like the weirdest, craziest combinations. But for this one, yeah, I kind of have that as well now.
I actually sold my Bowmasters a while ago, so maybe need to get them again for the...
Well, actually, I don't have Bowmasters. Actually, do I? The thing is, I don't like Bowmasters in Paint at all. Never did, never do. And yeah, so I guess I might actually have Bowmasters. I don't even know. See, that's how deep you are into the deck when you don't even know whether you have some of the cards that you probably do have.
I don't think it'll come back. It's just trying things and stuff. But yeah, the main problem like facing Painter now is to see how much Wrath of the Skies is played. Because I mean, yeah, the deck is good against the Frog Tamio decks. It's good against Eldrazi, and these are the top 2 decks. So Painter is really well positioned. I've always maintained that it's a very easy deck to attack. Just putting like one Gaia's Blessing or an Emrakul in your sideboard like increases your game against it by a ton. You know, if you're weak to Magus and stuff, maybe you get punked out there a bunch. And it is a very good deck.
Basically, if the one, like for Eldrazi, right, if the one extra turn will get you there, then definitely have that. Because a lot of times, like Painter afterwards is able to fight through that. But the beauty is, if you don't have any graveyard synergies and we side out a Soul Guide Lantern, right, then we sometimes can't actually fight back.
Yeah, I tend to keep in the Soul Guide against almost everything, just in case. Because it's just a cantrip as well. But yeah, no, it's sometimes it does come out. So we'll see. Painter is well positioned, just like a stock build. But as I always say, it's quite easy to attack, I think.
Kai, so what's your Eldrazi matchup like with Doomsday?
It's pretty much like a racing situation. Unfortunately, it's kind of similar to like Initiative or Moonstompy, but they don't have many hate pieces. Like they have Chalice of the Void. Yeah, kinda. Chalice. They're aggressive. The one thing that really annoys me as a Doomsday player is Kozilek's Command. Because that thing, it is so difficult to play against that card. Like they can't, because they test so many modes, they can force you to draw a card. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is play Oracle with 1 card left in your library and a Street Wraith in your hand.
Oh, that's dirty.
Or have a Frog and play for 1 devotion. So they can force it to draw. So with the trigger on the stack, they can exile the Thassa's Oracle.
Right,
but then
you still need like devotion.
You cycle in response. If they or if you have a Frog, you have 1 devotion. If they go, you draw and exile Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah.
Then you've got 1 card, so you draw, and then Thassa's Oracle's gone, but you've got no cards in the library. So if you can build a pile to have a cycler in your hand or 1 devotion and 1 card in the library and Thassa's Oracle, that's how you beat it. That's from Ethan Formentella, not me. I'm not clever.
I was going to say, did you like secretly practice or something?
Yeah.
I thought it came up in our Discord, and I thought the opposite. And I was like, yeah, you just can't beat it. And he was like, no, you just have a card in your library, you idiot. I was like, oh yeah. But it's hard to set that up though when you're under so much pressure. So
yeah. Well, like I guess like everyone made that a mistake at the beginning, because like why would you, like with Kozilek's Command, why would you ever want to make your opponent draw a card? You know, it was just not very intuitive to me. So it was like the first league after it got released, and like, dude, I straight up like lost to Kozilek's Command like instantly. It's like, what?
It's like, oh shit, it does that?
Yeah, because like in all non-blue matchups, as a Doomsday player, you can always draw your entire pile and don't worry about it. And now all of a sudden you can't. So
you want to hear my favorite interaction about making a player draw a card to screw the other player off? This is just like beautiful.
Oh, is it another one of those standstill stories?
No. This happened at GP Prague 2016.
I know exactly what it is. It's the Thought Seer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the Thought Seer. So Thought Seer plays against Nauseam Tendrils. It's the first game.
So sad.
And the Nauseam Tendrils player goes for, LED, Infernal Tutor, crack LED, try to find something.
But,
and then
but he knows the Eldrazi player's hand. It's just like removal. It's like dismember and shit, right?
Yeah. Just like nothing, technically. So the Eldrazi player is like, you know what? In response to your Infernal Tutor, you're Hellbent, right? Okay, I'm going to dismember my own Thought here, and you're going to draw a card, okay? And then you're going to find a second copy of whatever you draw.
Oh, I mean, what did he draw? Like
nothing that mattered.
Did he draw like a tendrils? No, okay.
Oh yeah, you go get 2 tendrils. Sweet.
And he drew the tendrils. You know?
It's just like you look at it, put it to the table, GG.
Oh god.
Like you offer the handshake, right? That's how you do it.
That's rough, yeah.
What a sick play.
That's just like complete like situational awareness, right? I think a lot of players would just be like, dude, I got contured or something. Like, yeah, no. Sometimes you have chances if you just try.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, and like we do again see a lot of Thought Not CS and Legacy again. Like as much as I dislike that card from like early days, because I also played like a lot of combo back then. Like seeing a card from 2016, coming back after all these years is kind of nice. I think.
I just realized I could never imagine Kai playing Eldrazi. Right, Kai just like rocking up to a tournament, just like, yo, I don't know, reality smasher, GG.
It's your boys with the Eldrazi.
Like everything about you is like so non-Eldrazi, which I guess is some kind of compliment.
What are you saying about Eldrazi players?
Okay, so that's the Eldrazi players who really want to win, who care about nothing else. So there's basically nothing to say about them at all, except for they want to win. And then there's like the lifestyle Eldrazi players who are just like, oh, dude, finally, big monster, good. I think if you did some kind of poll amongst Eldrazi players, especially the first version of Eldrazi, but maybe also this one, I think more than the average amount of players who had a deck recommended to them are Eldrazi players. So basically what I'm saying is like, if you ask a lot of players, why are you playing Delver? Like, I don't know, 20% of people will say, oh, my friends recommended it to me. They thought it would be like good. I think for Eldrazi players, it's more like 60%. If you ask them, oh, my friends that know a lot more about Legacy, they told me to play Eldrazi because I think it's good.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like some friends of mine who like touch Legacy every once in a while, and they have a lot of cards, but they rarely play. Every time a deck like Eldrazi is good, they send me messages on Facebook like, dude, do you think this deck is good now? So I feel like it's just like there's this desire to play these stupid broken things, and yeah, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, no, it appeals to people.
Yeah, in a strange non-Kai way. So I applaud you there, Kai.
In a spaghetti way.
Thank you.
Guys, do we call it a day here?
It was really cool. Good, very good talk.
Yeah, let's wait for the emergency banning of Psychic Frog. By the way, they announced a different banning schedule once again. Holy shit, guys. Like, how many times over the last 5 years have Wizards changed the way the schedule they ban cards at?
I don't know if you've watched the.
I didn't. I probably didn't.
No, not ban announcement. The latest Eternal Durdles with Reed Yukon. He was asked a similar question by like, what do you think of the way they're doing bans at the moment? And he kind of just like sighed and said, they've done all different ways. I've been through everything. I've seen everything. And not a single time have people been happy with it. And it's right. Nothing has worked great either. But I don't think there's a good answer to it. Like right now feels like a kind of
just
okay.
Honestly, like I feel like sometimes when they have like scheduled announcements, it's almost like to take pressure off themselves so they don't have to make a decision about the timing. So they know there's like a window coming up in like 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something. So they don't have to think about whether it might be better to do it right now, right away, which I guess makes your work easier, but the product of your work not necessarily better. And I feel like that's the desire kind of like behind this. I mean, the other idea that they always tell us about, also so people have like, they can build more trust into their investment and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I think that's kind of works for standard, maybe, but for everything else, just don't do it like that. But also, I have absolutely no idea how it works these days. And I also don't really care all that much about it. Because like Reed said, right, there's no good way to do it.
They give a date. And then at that point, like next one is December, they can do that. But also, there's a little window after new set releases.
Exceptions of a section.
I'm trying because they've just changed it. I'm trying to remember. But I think there is also another window after a new set release. I think to like fix standard issues more specifically.
Just stuff. Yeah.
So like remember when there was like the Felidar Guardian Sahili thing? Like that's where they want to give themselves a window to fix something in standard a few weeks after release, in case they missed it. I think this is their current thinking. Yeah. And then the ones that like now in December, that's the multi-format ones.
I think the only thing that I actually feel strongly about is never do that thing where you announce a card and then tell us it's going to be banned in like 4 weeks from now or something.
Yeah. The last 6 weeks have kind of sucked for Legacy. It's been such a lame duck format.
Yeah. So with that, I think we're going to call it a day. If you want to support us, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You can also subscribe on Patreon. And with that, I want to thank everybody who makes this work, especially you two guys, but also our Eternal Witness tier supporters, Franco Boli, Kane, Colin Garassi, Alex Crow, Tim Everett, Testacular, Sebastian Hullager, Guillaume, Sean Dewey, Stephen Bush, Jim Monolith, hey, welcome to the team, Francis Cowper, Cassandra Davis, Dylan Shoemaker, Rachel Scherer, Tom Zischka, Benedikt Gruber, and Severin Schwarzhuber. And our top World Gotcha Dragon tier supporters: Scott Monroe, Evan Lazar, Tom Happ, Harry Houdini MTG, Ian Seefeld, Joe Brennan, and Colonoscopy. Thank you so much, and see you again next time.
See you.
Ciao.